Game 4 was disappointing. Well, it actually started off great until this happened. But we'll get to that in a bit, so stay with me now. In that first half, the Celtics put on an offensive clinic. They were starting to look like that same team we watched all regular season, and it was mostly thanks to Jayson Tatum. Tatum was spectacular. He finished the half with 20 points, and the Celtics as a team did their part too. In that first half, Boston shot 54% from the field, made 12 of the 24 threes, shot 66% from the free throw line and grabbed 20 rebounds, had 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 4 fast break points, 12 points in the paint, and a lead as large as 13 points. They were hooping. Terrible defensive teams like the Indiana Pacers, for example, would have likely lost a game like this in the first half, but not New York. Their superstar Jalen Brunson helped them stay in the game, offensively scoring 13 points in that first half. In that half, the Knicks finished shooting almost 43% from the field, 31% from 3. They only shot 4 free throws, which is kind of crazy, but they did make all 4. They had 21 rebounds, 8 offensive ones, 13 defensive ones. They had 11 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 28 points in the paint, and their largest lead was 1. The score at halftime was 62 Celtics, 51 Knicks. But that second half is when the crowd really came to life. But first, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button below, because if you don't, I'm gonna personally make sure that Nico Harrison is your next GM. And trust me, nobody wants that. Jayson Tatum continued his scoring onslaught and was really getting to his spots however he wanted. At times it was off the dribble, fading away. Other times it was attacking the paint or spot up and step back threes. It was a terrifying display of his offensive arsenal, and I was loving it. This is what everyone has been waiting for. It looked like he was going to take over the series and have another one of his signature playoff moments we had all been waiting for. But then in that fourth quarter, he made a play for the basketball, pushing off his right foot, and bam, he collapsed. Seemed like the general consensus is he might have tore his Achilles. They're getting an MRI done as soon as tomorrow or whenever it is you're seeing this, so prayers out to him. Despite what social media tells you, Tatum is actually one of the tougher players in this NBA right now. Whenever he falls or gets hard fouled, he's usually quick to bounce back up on his feet. So when he had to be helped off the court, the concern from Boston fans very quickly went from, is he gonna miss the rest of the playoffs, to, could he miss all of next year as well? If we're being honest, as soon as Tatum's injury happened, it was as if all the air in the arena went out for Boston. The Celtics players looked like they had just seen a ghost. I mean, they just watched their star player and one of their closest friends get really hurt, and there was probably so much running through their minds at that moment. So the last thing anybody should do is actually critique their performance at the end of that fourth quarter. I understand it. As for New York, they really did their thing. They should be very proud of their performance last night. All of the things that Coach Tom Thibodeau and the rest of us have been complaining about, they fixed it. They never let Boston go up by more than 13 points. And as far as the score, they were always right there, it felt like. Whereas in the other 3 games, they trailed by as much as 20 plus points all night and only survived those games thanks to them being ridiculously clutch in the second half and Boston shooting some of the worst shooting splits we've ever seen. But what their performance tonight did have in common with the other 3 games is they were clutch as heck once again. They got help from everybody. Mikal Bridges went crazy in the fourth, giving them 10 points in the quarter and making 5 of his 6 shots in the fourth. OG did his thing, going 4 for 4 from the field in the fourth. Jalen Brunson, as usual, did Jalen Brunson things. He scored 8 points. And Karl-Anthony Towns didn't even have to do a whole lot this quarter since the rest of the team shot so well. And defensively in that fourth quarter, they did alright. It wasn't as dominant as the other games, but they got some stops. At first, the game plan in the fourth was to force Tatum to make some tough ones, and Tatum did. He had 11 points and went 4 for 6. It looked like the Celtics could maybe close the gap if Tatum kept shooting the ball like he was, but then Tatum had the injury, and once that happened, the Knicks didn't really look intimidated by the Celtics whatsoever. They were scoring how they wanted, they were getting stops defensively, and boom, they won the game. As for the New York Knicks' future, they have officially secured a 3-1 lead against the Boston Celtics, and they look good. It seems like they're going to close out the series in Game 5, go to the conference finals, and probably play against Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. And as for the Celtics, things are a little complicated now. You gave both of your star players max contracts, and now one of them probably won't play at all next year, and maybe a lot of the season after that. Not to mention, you're the most expensive team in the history of the game. Even if they did somehow go on to win the finals this year, they were still gonna move people like KP, Sam Hauser, and Drew Holiday. Spending basically $500 million on the team is just too hard to justify. So look out for the Celtics. They're historically known for treating their loyal players pretty horribly in their weakest moments, so I won't ever count anything out when it comes to an organization as heartless as Boston. I just want everyone to remember how the Boston Celtics mistreated Isaiah Thomas in 2017. Dear Jayson Tatum, please do and say whatever you have to in order to make sure you are protected going forward. This is a cruel and a nasty business. And on that note, that's what I think. But you let me know if you think that the Celtics as an organization ain't shit in the comments below. Man, remembering how they did my guy IT just ruined my night, goddammit. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn those noties on. Matista signing out!